Boom. Jamie, thank you. We've got Danny Kanell here in front of,
the losing team on Saturday. That's the only way to put it.
Look, how would you describe what happened in Week 0 to Florida State against Georgia Tech over there in Ireland?
First of all, I think Georgia Tech deserves a ton of credit. Brent Key put together a great game plan.
They're better than a lot of people realize.
Agreed. And so I think that has something to do with it. Maybe Florida State was a little overrated. Georgia Tech was underrated coming into the game. But I thought the thing that was most concerning me, because DJ Uiagalelei is going to take a lot of the criticism because the offense wasn't high-flying. I didn't expect it to be. My biggest surprise was the inability to control both lines of scrimmage. The offensive line, which looked phenomenal that first drive of the game, right? They went boom, 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 right down the field, running the football, could not get it going. Leading rusher under 50 yards, and Roydell Williams couldn't get Lawrence Toafili going either. And then more importantly, I thought the defense would be able to kind of dominate early while the offense was, finding its sea legs for the season. And that probably concerned me the most because they got pushed around. 2 long drives for Georgia Tech late in that game were what closed it out, and they were not able to get off the field. So they have a lot of kind of soul searching to do there in Tallahassee, and hopefully you can use this, tick them off, get them upset, and prove anybody wrong that's making fun of them.
Let's get Brad Crawford in here, who is our college football playoff analyst. And you see the number at the bottom of the screen. Still a 30% chance for Florida State to get in the playoff according to our sports line simulations. Brad, you buying that?
If I'm Mike Norvell, man, I'm not letting the word playoff be uttered inside my locker room the rest of the season. The Noles just need to beat Boston College in that home opener next Monday night and then regroup during the open week. This is a team that you guys have stated can still win the ACC and get that automatic berth, but they're going to need some help doing so. Clemson and Miami still on the schedule. NC State's going to be a factor. Now Georgia Tech has a tiebreaker over the Noles should the Yellow Jackets finish with only one conference loss. You see the schedule there. It's not easy the rest of the way for a team that has some holes. DJU was limited at quarterback on Saturday, had some receiving issues as well, and then the right side of Florida State's offensive line, despite having a veteran tackle there, did not play well. So as Danny mentioned earlier, Florida State did not control the line of scrimmage, which we thought was going to be a strength of this team. So if Florida State has intent on getting to the expanded playoff, it's probably got to do so as the ACC champion, and right now they're behind the 8 ball doing that.
And have to play Miami, have to play Clemson. Clemson involved in one of these spotlight games in Week 1 in college football, and we're going to kind of look at these games through the lens of the college football playoff. But you've got Clemson and Georgia in Atlanta. This isn't technically a Georgia home game, but it's in the state of Georgia, also close to Clemson. So it's going to be, it's not going to really be a true Georgia home game. This is almost a 2-touchdown spread here, Danny. Is this game going to be close?
It depends on Clemson's defense because we all know Georgia, the roster that they have, their defense is going to be outstanding. But to me, the Clemson defense is what can keep them in this game and potentially make it a fourth-quarter game. There's still Cade Klubnik, the quarterback. Clemson has to take a big step forward. You would think he would be more comfortable second year in Garrett Riley's system, but we know Georgia is going to be clicking on all cylinders because of the amount of guys they turn. Carson Beck comes back. So I think it'll be up to Clemson's defense. If they can get the stops, maybe potentially, we saw this matchup a few years ago. Remember DJU? We were talking about him with Florida State. He was the only touchdown, was a pick 6, unfortunately, was the difference in the game. That's my recipe if Clemson wanted to keep it close, a defensive kind of slugfest.
All this talk about Clemson, but to be honest with you, this game means more for Georgia than it does for the Tigers, given the rest of the slate in that top 25 loaded SEC. Georgia plays 4 additional top 15 teams this season in conference play. And as the preseason number 1, people are expecting to see Kirby Smart's team really pass the eye test on Saturday in Atlanta. So a lot of challenging games against SEC teams coming up for Georgia, but this big one on Saturday, 2 preseason top 15s, really a chance for both of these schools to not only, show AP voters they belong in the top 15, but get an early test ahead of themselves in this playoff race. Double-digit favorite for Georgia. It's a must-win because there's several other very challenging games on that schedule for the Bulldogs.
Well, let's go to more of a toss-up game. It's Mike Elko's first game in College Station with Texas A&M. They've got Notre Dame coming in. Brad, why do you feel like this is actually a more important game for Notre Dame than it is for A&M?
Yeah, it's going to be a very difficult game for the Irish because you've got a freshman left tackle coming in, probably a redshirt freshman left guard. And oh, by the way, this game's at Kyle Field, 105,000 plus bearing down on you, and it's at night. So it's a very tough environment for Notre Dame and Marcus Freeman taking those guys in there. Not to mention Mike Elko, first year. He's coached Riley Leonard last season. He knows Riley Leonard's strengths and his weaknesses, and I think that he's going to be able to attack there. You see, Marcus Freeman as a D coordinator previously, now the head coach at Notre Dame. So this one's vital for Notre Dame, because if the Irish finish 10-2 without a win over a ranked opponent, this is one of 3 they're going to play this season. I'm not sure they can get to the playoff, because Florida State now was supposed to be one of those tougher games for Notre Dame, and the Noles might not be ranked after week 1. So this is a must-win for Notre Dame as far as getting to the playoff is concerned.
Brad, I agree. I mean, Notre Dame has a 3-game schedule. He alluded to those teams, and one of them just took a loss in Florida State. This is a must-win because they're one of the only independents that are tied into this college football playoff, so they don't have a chance to win an ACC or a Big Ten no matter what happens. So they have to impress with the regular season. Of course, can't get that first round bye. They just want a chance, a seat at the table. But if they go 10-2, my question would be, what are their best wins then, because of the weakness of everybody else? So when you have an opportunity versus these 3 kind of better opponents, they have to make a statement.
Josh Pate thinks the winner of this game is going to end up in the college football playoff. Let's move to USC and LSU. This game being played in Las Vegas. It's a Sunday night. The total is climbing up toward 55 points. And the big question that everybody has is about USC's defense. How much better will it be? How much better can it be?
You could replace that with LSU, too, because both of these defenses were atrocious last year. That's the reason both of them brought in brand new defensive coordinators. So I'm kind of curious to see how this unfolds, and I'm saying bet the over right now, because I know we have new quarterbacks for both of these programs, but both of these offenses typically put up big numbers, and you sort of have to trust, Garrett Nussmeier, the things you're hearing about them behind a really good offensive line, and you trust what Lincoln Riley's done with any quarterback. Now it's Miller Moss's opportunity. So I would expect some fireworks out of both of these two teams, who I feel have the widest variance of what you possibly could get. Either one, I think, could be a 6 or 7 win team, but I also think they could be a 10 or 11 win team. So I just don't know what I'm going to get from these 2 teams, and I love seeing them play.
This is a huge opportunity for USC. Look, all the offseason noise associated with Lincoln Riley, maybe losing a step ahead of his first season in the Big Ten, all that comes into play here. Will he be able to prove doubters wrong? We've seen Brian Kelly the last 2 seasons lose both openers, still won 10 games his first 2 years at LSU. Something's got to give in Las Vegas. As Danny said, Miller Moss, USC's new-look offense against a revamped defense with a new DC for LSU and Blake Baker, who coached at Missouri last season. So LSU still has personnel issues on that side of the ball, by the way. So there's no surprise to me that the over-under is climbing in this game. I expect a lot of points.
Danny, did you see Nick Saban's CFP projections? 5 SEC teams with Missouri, the first team out.
Oh, I saw it. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Are you surprised?
No, we should have done a whole segment on that.
We could have.
Brad, Danny, thank you.